Give me that garbage. Gotta take out the trash. Give me that garbage. Gotta throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. Give me that garbage. 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 You know when I'm coming down the street, rumbling tires and a great big scream.
That's enough of that. That's enough of that. They're definitely going to strike me for that one. They're definitely going to strike me up for that one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the fine program. I'm your host, Joe Neiman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. Takes my throat like a little bit to sort of like find its pitch. It's finding its pitch. It's finding its pitch. So, in case you missed it, topic of garbage is all over social media. If you're on social media today, you couldn't get away from the garbage. Garbage is everywhere. Garbage is everywhere. And that's our lead story for tonight. That is our lead story for tonight. I talked about it a little bit last night when it first broke. It broke like right as my show was starting. Maybe like, I don't know, half hour before or so. But, man, this little clip, I said it. I said this, whatever momentum they got from Kill Tony, basically transitioning into someone who probably was thinking, I kill something else. Can't say it on YouTube, but that momentum, that which induced the screech fest from The View, had The View women screeching. We're proud Puerto Ricans. We're proud. How dare you insult Puerto Rico? We there's 100,000 in Delaware, 460,000 in Pennsylvania, 280,000 in Michigan, and we vote. We are not happy with you. Like she's the leader of an army, Sonny Hostin. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, all that went out the window. No one remembers that anymore. No. This election has officially become known as the garbage election. The garbage election of 2024. And it's all courtesy of one man, one phenomenal man who belongs on Mount Rushmore, according to Nancy Pelosi. This man right here. It all started with just a stupid off the cuff comment, which as soon as he said it, I was like, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, you adult old man.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His
supporters. Period. Just listen to it. It sounds like there's a period after supporters, right? I mean, everyone understands that. This is going to become relevant in a few minutes as I give you more on this story.
His supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
God bless you and your stupid, feeble mind. God bless you and your stupid, feeble, addled mind. And here's the thing. This is not a man. He's actually speaking his mind. We saw him at the Dark MAGA the Great Red speech talking about Ultra MAGA. And I'm not talking about Republicans in general. I'm talking about Ultra MAGA. What the hell is that? What the hell is Ultra MAGA? We saw it with his stupid, when he was campaigning, one of the handful of times he managed to crawl out of his bunker and appear on an interview where he goes on the Breakfast Club and starts saying, you don't vote for me, you're not black. Come on, man. He has a sick mind that the left and the screeching members of The View in particular, bend over backwards trying to figure out how to cover up for all the tells that slip out of his mouth because his brain is too cottage cheese to be able to keep his mouth closed. Stupid man. God bless you, you beautiful, stupid individual. Because this now has become the theme. This is it. We've been called Nazis. We've been called racist, misogynist, fascists. We've been called deplorable. We've been called by Obama bitter people holding on to our guns and God. And now we've been called garbage. That's what he thinks of us. We're garbage. Well. Hold on a second. I forgot to send this out. I've got to send out my YouTube notice. Maybe that's why there's no one here. That's pretty stupid. Pretty bad job, Joey. Sorry, sir, but your shovel handle broke. Excuse me. If you don't dig deeper in the tunnels, where are we going to put all the garbage? Where are we going to put all the garbage? You need to be in the tunnels and locals. In the tunnels and just digging and digging and digging. I'm not going to put up with all these lame-ass excuses that people want to give me. Oh, my shovel handle is broken. No. We need massive excavation going on here because there's millions and millions and millions, 100 million maybe, I don't know, 100 million pieces of garbage out there, human garbage. You never got the notification. I'm sorry about that. I'm glad you made it here anyway, Nicole. I just sent it out now. Maybe people show up like in an hour or so. I don't know. Now, that is a good idea that Pravda has. You should hit the like now. See, Uncivil gets me. He gets me. Joe is a garbage person and we love him. God bless you, brother. Lost in law. Hey, Digger Foreman, I've emerged from a long dig trying to build an underground railroad from your basement Canada so AOC may escape to safety. She's going to need to escape somewhere. Let's break down this garbage story here because this was just the beginning. There is so much to talk about with respect to this garbage story. So much. This is Trump speaking in a garbage man outfit after what Biden called his supporters. Unbelievable. The captain of marketing. There you go.
And I have to begin.
Come on.
By saying to.
That's not working. All right. Well, you call us deplorables, we lean in on being deplorables. You call us garbage, we'll lean in on being garbage. We'll be garbage all day long. And God bless this man. He showed up today. Shows up on the campaign trail. That's right. Here he is, showing up in a garbage truck, complete with vest and everything. Here's our hero.
Back with some breaking news here. We want to take you to North Carolina, where you can clearly see there Donald Trump is taking questions from reporters inside a truck.
A truck? Inside some kind of truck? ABC News has to do some more digging, figure out what kind of truck it is. There you go. 100% straight garbage tickets. Hopefully they don't throw you're in Texas. They're not going to throw your bat in the trash. Here's Trump speaking from his garbage truck.
Let's go ahead and listen in.
I don't think they'll have to be used. I think we're going to have a big victory. And I think 250 million people in this country are going to be very happy because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline. And we're going to bring our country back.
This is what I was begging him to do during the last month of the election cycle. Talk about things being better. We all know how garbage life is under the Biden-Harris administration. Talk about how it's going to be better. This is what we need from this man. Perfect. Everything is perfect.
Musk was in close contact with President Bush. Did you know about this? Did you know about Elon Musk calls and closely engagement?
No, I don't know. Elon is a great guy. He's one of our geniuses, and we have to.
I'm going to cover later in the show that there is ongoing developments in the suit between Soros-founded District Attorney Larry Krasner filing a civil suit against Elon Musk because of his America PAC's what they call lottery giveaway, $1 million a day giveaway to people who sign up to his PAC, and that there are developments in that story that I plan on covering later in the show. That's what I believe she was just asking about.
Protect our geniuses. We have to take care of our geniuses.
Oh, yeah, he totally.
There aren't too many of them.
Totally needs Kamala.
No, I love Puerto Rico. And
You owe Puerto Rico an apology. Never apologize. Never apologize to general people. Okay, now I want to clarify this, okay? Here's rule for social media. And trust me, I'm relatively late to the game on social media, but I'm pretty quick learner. And I study from people who are really good at it, and I see what works, what doesn't work. So this is one thing you need to understand. It is a decent and moral and a noble thing when you harm an individual or an identifiable group of individuals, meaning people, not too many that they would fit on a class action lawsuit, but an identifiable small group, easily identifiable small group of individuals, and you wrong them through your own misfeasance, malfeasance, nonfeasance, any kind of bad feasance, it is a brave, noble, and a sign of leadership, strength, and maturity to issue a heartfelt apology, commit to not do that in the future, and make whatever appropriate reparation befits the situation. Those are all noble signs of a well-developed individual, someone you should try to associate with, because they clearly care about their self-growth, their self-development. Those are clear markings of a true member of the following, a nicely developed member of the following. But at the same time, if you are ever called upon to apologize to a group, a large group that you have purportedly wronged by hurting their feelings or in some other very amorphous way that you did not show sufficient sensitivity, you didn't show enough concern, you were too toxic, masculine, whatever nonsense they want to throw at you. Never, ever, 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 ever apologize. Never. Nobody. Never, ever, 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 ever apologize for that at all. Because as soon as you apologize, they will cut your head off and they will not accept your apology. They will take it as an admission that you're wrong and you're a terrible person, because there's nobody to accept your apology. There's no representative who could be like, you know what? I exonerate you. So you're basically saying, I'm a bad person. Did you apologize to every person of that class action suit? Obviously not. And you wronged them potentially. We don't even know that any of them were wronged, but potentially you did. And therefore, you are now guilty. So when they ask him a question, do you want to apologize to Puerto Rico for something that he didn't even do? I love this response. I love Puerto Rico. Why the hell would I apologize? I don't even think Kill Tony should apologize. I think even if it was more offensive joke than that, because he talked about the country, meaning the landscape of Puerto Rico being a garbage dump, if he went so far, which would have been a terrible mistake on his part, as to refer to Puerto Ricans in general as being garbage, I don't know, kind of like our president did about all of us, I still would say, no, don't apologize. If I was advising Joe Biden right now today, I would say to him, don't apologize. You cannot apologize because all your people will read it as is your admission that you were wrong, and you're still just as wrong. Then they will push you and push you and push you to apologize. And if you do, you are only going to make yourself weaker, not make a single soul feel better. And most of the time, you don't even know that a single human being was remotely harmed by your actions in these types of scenarios. So never, ever apologize. Amen. Let's get back to Trump answering some questions here. I haven't seen this part yet.
Puerto Rico loves me. I don't know anything about a comedian. I love Puerto Rico. Nobody's done more for Puerto Rico than me. I took care of them when they had the big hurricanes, and
nobody's done more for Puerto. Not the Liberator. No, nobody. I'll tell you someone who didn't do as much for Puerto Rico. That's certainly the Clinton Foundation.
Nobody gets along better with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people than me. They love me and I love them. What do I don't know anything about the comedian. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. I heard he made a statement, but it was just a statement that he made. He's a comedian. What can I tell you? I know nothing about him. I don't know why he's there.
Perfect answer. I don't know this clown. I don't know who he is. He's a comedian. He tells jokes. I don't know.
Put comedians up, and I guess he went on earlier in the show. I don't know who he is.
Is Steve Bannon going to campaign with you? Is Steve Bannon going to campaign with you now that he's out of prison?
I don't know, but I think he's a terrific guy. I think he was treated very unfairly.
You've been talking about Democrats.
Notice how you could just answer an array of questions from a myriad of different topics and not look remotely flustered, nervous, swallowing. Oh my God, how am I going to answer this question? If it was Kamala being asked in a similar type of circle, it would just be swallowing. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. It's a time when people need to think about how they act, because only by thinking about how we act, then our actions are reflecting what we're thinking, and then the thinking will be happening with our actions. And you need your actions to be thoughtful, because that's reflective of the fact that you've been thinking about what you're going to do with those actions. And he's like, I love Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans love me. Of course, why wouldn't they?
Could you imagine any circumstances under which you would be defeated but not say that the election was stolen?
If it was a corrupt election, that could happen. But so far, we're doing pretty well. They found a lot of smaller things in Pennsylvania.
I think he misheard that question, because he would say if it wasn't the corrupt election.
No, and I think they've been corrupted and taken care of. They were corrupt. They were corrupted, but I think it's been taken care of.
On that subject, you called for law enforcement.
And we're going to talk about a myriad of different issues that have popped up in this state and in that state and in this state and in that state. And why, I remember a year ago, people were telling me, Joe, why should we feel confident that they're not going to do this again? And what I said to you is we're a lot more alert to it now than we were back in 2020. You're also forgetting that back in 2020, we were very still limited in our actions, because it was like everyone was dealing with health issues. There was no vaccine yet, and people distancing, and no one's going outside. And we were in this weird sort of time when that election was happening. Now people are coming around there. Wait, what? Why'd you shut down that poll over there? What's happening? Why are you ripping that sign out in the middle of nowhere that no one's ever going to see? It's not going to affect a single vote. How dare you do that? There's accountability that people are demanding now. There's so much more oversight. Are they going to try and steal this election? Oh, hell yes. Frankly, I'd be shocked if there weren't a couple of Republicans doing whatever they can to try and steal it back the other way. That's just reality as far as the human condition. Do I assume that it's far worse, that the Democrats are stealing a lot more? Yeah, because I think it's a lot more institutionalized, because the easiest place to steal is in a city. We have access to great numbers of votes and oversight. So if you're looking for corruption, those cities tend to be run by Democrats. So as far as there being mass influential fraud, clearly Democrats are far better positioned to engage in that type of nefarious conduct. And we've seen funky things happening in 2020, but now the right is so alert for it that even a small thing happening in one polling place that we're going to talk about in Bucks County, there's no one's giving any quarter to that. It's like, hell no. Hell no. And there's another huge advantage that I didn't even know was going to happen when I was predicting that we shouldn't have to worry as much in 2024. And that is this extended period of voting, of in-person voting, which is really a first. In 2020, we had a lot of mail-in ballots, and you had drop-off boxes. But you didn't have places, locations that you can show up to days, weeks in advance and cast your ballot. This is such a game changer. And look, obviously there could be pitfalls to this that we haven't considered and we may have yet to experience by engaging in an extended election season rather than just one election day. But the problem with there being just one election day is when you've got rampant fraud going in this location, that location, this location, that location, and 50 different places, you can't oversee it all. You can't. It's impossible. It's happening like everywhere. It's like almost like you're on a ship that's made out of tin and it's springing links all over the place, and you're like sticking your hand up like on the thing, and you're like, oh no, over there, oh wait, over there, oh no, you're sticking your foot up trying to plug up this hole and that hole and this hole and that hole. You're drowning. You're done. You're drowning. And now it's like, no, we can get Republicans in there, vote in person. And if there's a problem with the pens and the Sharpies, it's not like, oh my God, it's election day. It's 6:00. I need to get my ballot in there. Not too late. Like, all these problems have an opportunity to be sorted out. This is why I urge all of you, to hell with the mail voting. Don't do mail-in voting. Certain states, I know, only have mail-in voting, although I think Pennsylvania has what they call mail-in voting, but they have in-person mail-in voting. If you're in Pennsylvania, you have the opportunity to go into various locations, from what I understand, and request a mail-in ballot that you could fill out right there and hand to them right there, rather than leaving it out in the wild for some lunatic Antifa guy to set the box on fire, rather than leaving it in the hands of some crazy mail carrier 10 days before he goes postal and starts shooting up some supermarket because he's a freaking lunatic. So now you can actually hand it to the people who are designated to take care of your ballot. That's a game changer. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. And I urge all of you, don't wait till election day. No. Get out there. You know, it's up to be tomorrow, do a Friday, whatever it is, whatever time day works for you, get it out there. This way, God forbid, if there's some sort of problem, come back the next day. Hopefully it's not, 20 miles away from your house. And this way, it's not like a crisis. They're like, oh my God, I'm not going to get my ballot in there. You have thousands and thousands of people who are just working with a crazy deadline. And all of a sudden, oh, well, our machine's jammed. I mean, that's what happened in 2020. You might have forgotten. I didn't forget. All of a sudden, Arizona, this thing it's not showing up because the pens are the Sharpie pens, and this machine's jammed because it got the wrong size paper. And it's like, you're wondering, like, how many ballots are not going in, and they're dealing with provisional ballots, and there's all the nonsense and craziness there. We're just like, this is just insanity that we're deciding the leader of the free world. And like all these people who, they're saying every vote counts unless it's a Republican voting for a Republican. Then we sure as hell don't want those going in. Every vote counts. That's what democracy. So Yeah. So this extended voting period is a big win. It's a big win. And I love the fact that this is happening in the weeks, in the just handful of days, while people are going out in the hundreds of thousands, in the millions across the country and voting, that we have this amazing story unfolding where the president of the United States calls Trump voters garbage. It's almost like he's daring us. He's daring people to go out there and vote for Trump. That's what's so amazing about this. It's not some stupid lunatic comedian that no one ever heard of before. I mean, when I say nobody, 97% of the planet never heard of him. No, this is the president of the United States who called us garbage. It's the president. It's our president calling us garbage just because we don't vote the way he wants us to. And it happens to be the president who Kamala, swearing up and down, is completely sound of mind. Completely sound mind. Oh, he's totally sound mind. It happens to be the president who she's serving under, who she's like, oh, everything he's done is amazing. It's wonderful. He's a great leader. He's wonderful. He's amazing. It happens to be a president that former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, says belongs on freaking Mount Rushmore. That's the guy who called half the country garbage. You can't, I mean, it's almost as if like sometimes it's almost like it's almost like it's a miracle. It's almost like it's a miracle. Because let's face it, no, Joe Biden doesn't know the words that are going to come out of his mouth a second and a half before it comes out. He doesn't know what's coming out. It's almost as if God moved his lips and tongue and teeth and got him to say the stupidest thing possible at the worst possible time for the Democrats. I'll share with you a story. I'll share with you a quick this is from sages of old, okay? This is from Jewish lore. From Jewish lore. You can make of this what you will. You can make of this what you will. There's a story that's told about a king. Well, don't worry, I'm coming back to this story. I'm diverting here. It's a good story. There's a story that's told about a king who was deathly ill. This goes back thousands of years. Thousands of years. He's deathly ill. And his doctors say that the only way that he can possibly be cured is by drinking lioness milk. Milk from a lioness. Where the hell are you going to get lioness milk? So he offered up great riches to whoever it is that would come to him and bring him lioness milk. Well, this guy goes down to the jungle, and every day he finds a lion's den or some lioness den, and he leaves some meat out for it and like runs away. And every day starts working. The next day he leaves some more meat out and lets the lion see his face. So the lioness gets familiar with his face. And the next day he comes back again and brings some more meat until every day he's working to get himself to get closer and closer to this lioness, that the lioness would feel comfortable with him, until after he's doing this for a week, 10 days, he's able to start actually petting the lioness as the lioness is eating. And after 2 weeks or so, the lioness is sufficiently comfortable with him that she allows him to basically milk her. Again, get the lioness milk. Travels back to the king, and the king says to him, and he says, on the way back, you can make of this part whatever you will. The different parts of his, this is, like I said, Jewish legend type of thing. Make of this part what you will, because this is going to sound a little bit difficult to understand. So there's basically an argument within his own body as to who it was, which part of his body was most important to which is the most powerful part of him that managed to accomplish this amazing feat of being able to milk a lioness. And his brain is saying, oh, it was my brilliance, how I came up with this. And his feet were saying, no, I was able to move the right way. And his hands were basically taking the position. No, that was that it was the way I was able to stroke the lioness's back and make her feel comfortable. And the tongue says, no, I'm more powerful than any of you. And they laugh. They're like, what are you? What are you? He comes to the king. He shows up in the king's courtyard, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I came here with a remedy for the king." Like, what did you bring? He said, "I brought you dog's milk." Well, the king gets so outraged when he hears this guy. Everyone knows he needs lioness milk. He comes with goat's milk. He comes with dog milk. And he gets outraged, throws him in prison, and Tongue basically was proving a point. At the end of the day, what comes out of your mouth is ultimately going to be most influential as to like how people are going to receive you, how people are going to take you. And that's why I say to you right now, this is a crazy thing. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Who the hell, as president of the United States, would be so stupid, so crazed to actually formulate and cogitate to say a sentence like this is that I think his supporters are garbage. Floating garbage, when it's so obviously moronic and crazy. It's a lunatic type of thing to say, but sure enough, those words came out of his mouth, and you can't unring that bell. And they're going to sit there and try and twist it and claim, no, he meant this, he meant that. You're ready. If you already have to try and explain what he said, that's like you're appealing to the ref. If you're appealing to the ref, or you're blaming the ref, you lost. That's what happened. You lost. And this guy here, Donald Trump, is the master. When he sees an advantage that his opponents have given him, oh my God, does he lean in hard on it? Oh my God, he just will lean in and take that advantage of that. And it's not just him, it's his brilliant team that's working together with him also. Because out there on the campaign trail, it wasn't just him. No. No. Sorry for getting all Jewy on you there for a moment. But make you a little bit louder here. Vivek Ramaswamy rolling up on a garbage the back of a garbage truck. That's what this whole campaign is now.
Hey.
It's the garbage election.
USA!
You are amazing.
Ready to take out the garbage. Good to see you guys. Love you, brother. We took out some trash today. Good to see you. We took out some real trash. Good to see you, man. How are you? Very good. Good to see you.
He follows up by actually doing garbage work. He didn't just show up in it. He's like, no. Let me.
All right. Let's do it, man. I got it. Yeah. Tell me, what are we doing here? Okay. Right up to here.
I mean, look at how this is able to appeal to blue-collar workers and say, like, look, we respect you.
All right, sweet. Lift open, and then what are we doing?
I mean, this is just amazing. Everything about this is amazing.
Pull them both out.
It's miraculous. Crazy.
Doing it right? Pull this one back too, or you good? Sweet. Pretty good machinery, actually. It kind of works. Should I pull it back again?
No, this goes up.
Should I pull it?
Yeah, pull it out.
Pull it out? All right, man. Let's do it. Thank you. Looks pretty good. Yeah, the machinery's good. It's good machinery. I mean, it's
you
like
didn't even have to use the bat once.
no, I know exactly. Well, sometimes you might need to actually. It's a the machine.
I think the bat is to kill rats, right? I mean, that's what it is. You get a bat out in case there's like a rat in the garbage can, some sort of animal, some sort of, I don't know, raccoon in there or something. You're like, bam. I assume. I don't know. I've fortunately never had to do garbage work. Lady Lawgic takes oh my god. Kamala's gonna show up in a middle-class garbage truck tomorrow. Trump wins, Vivek becomes U.S. Senator from Ohio. Maybe. I don't know. Fun fact, garbage top song 1990s is Stupid Girl, features lyrics about a woman's ambivalence. Nothing is real, just word salad. Nice. That is pretty funny. I hadn't thought of that. PSA to check your local sample ballot online ahead of time so you know what to vote for local races. This is true. This is true, indeed. Although, frankly, I just went straight down the line. Grim 42! New member of the following. Welcome aboard, Grim 42. Welcome. The Alliance is a stand-in for Harvey Weinstein. I'm not really getting that part. But I can't believe I told you all that line at start. When I started, I was like, I don't know. Maybe this is my maybe this is my garbage moment. But so let me share with you how this story has been unfolding all day today. Earlier this morning, we had Byron Donalds. Whoa, that wasn't what I was looking for. What happened there? There you go. Oh, we had Byron Donalds over here on CNN calling out how insane it is, the divisive rhetoric from the left.
My response is that the first statement from Joe Biden?
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Is the one that he truly believes. He does not think that people who disagree with him or his party, who support President Trump, are Americans. He thinks that they're garbage. That's a fact. And the reason what I go back to is 4 years ago, around this same time, it was Joe Biden that went on the Breakfast Club, and he famously said,
if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That if you couldn't vote for him, then you weren't black. It's the same Joe Biden. Made the same type of statement 4 years ago. So this is consistent with who he is. Look, I think right now what we have is a contrast in presidential campaigns. Donald Trump has been on the campaign trail talking about fixing our country, ending a lot of the travesties from the Biden-Harris administration, making America great again. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, for that matter, they're running around talking about the rally at MSG was a Nazi rally.
Donald Trump's got this big rally going at Madison Square Garden. There's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden.
You stand by the comparison, though, to a Nazi rally?
Look, the rally, you saw it for yourself.
Well, Laura, I spoke at that rally. So did Harry O, the founder of Death Row Records. So did Vivek Ramaswamy. So did Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think the Nazis will let us speak at their rally. So that hateful rhetoric is coming from the left, and it's got to stop.
Byron Donalds is amazing. He really is. This guy, I hope he steers clear of all scandals, because if he manages to steer clear of all scandals, he has a very, very bright political future. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when someone's going to turn, but he's incredibly intelligent and well valued, seems to be of great moral character. Just he's such a great congressman. He's one of my favorite people in Congress. He's so good. If you missed the statement that Joe Biden's team put out for him, trying to correct what he said, this is what they put out. Earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage. Oh, yeah. No, he said his supporters. The only garbage is his supporters, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. That's what his team put out. And that was the message that Karine Jean-Pierre was trying to throw out there. That was the cover that Karine Jean-Pierre was trying to throw out there. It's a little louder for you also.
Address the president's comments yesterday referring to Trump's supporter as garbage. And
A couple of things. So just to clarify, he was not calling Trump supporters garbage.
He obviously was, which he obviously was.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Which is why he put out, this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that
at least you're able to admit he didn't write it himself. He wanted us to put out.
Clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
And so just want to make that very clear for folks who are watching. And I just want to read that out to folks. So he was regarding to the comedian, and I quote, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation." And to your question, your other question that you asked, no, he does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views.
He very clearly does.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
He very clearly does view us as garbage. We all heard his hateful rhetoric when he talked about ultra MAGA. We all heard it. We've all heard him say it. We've all seen him try to silence us over and over again. We've all seen it. We've all heard. We all know it. Everyone knows this is true, and that this is ridiculous desperation to try and spin away from the hot mess that was created when God made his tongue move. That's what we all saw. Where is I have here Kamala? Where are you, Kamala? Kamala, there she is. Here's Kamala being asked about it. I'm giving a weak sauce answer.
Do you sympathize with any voters who do feel offended by or insulted by the garbage comments?
Are you going to apologize? Do you sympathize with them? That's the question. She doesn't really answer that question.
I am running for president of the United States. I will be traveling to 3 states today.
Not relevant. Why the hell are you even starting with this? What made you think to start your response with this? No one knows, because your brain is basically as adult as Joe Biden's.
To do what I have been doing throughout, which is talking with the American people about the fact that, first of all, I get it in terms of the concerns they have about challenges like the price of groceries.
Do you sympathize with any voters who do feel offended by or insulted by the garbage comments?
This is not the clip that I would thought.
I am running for president of the United States. I will be traveling to 3 states today to do what I have been doing throughout, which is talking with the American people about the fact that, first of all, I get it in terms of the concerns they have about challenges like the price of groceries.
What does that have to do with the garbage remark? What the hell does that have to do with anything? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Seriously, what does that have to do with anything? There was another clip from her where she said something to the effect of, "I would never say anything hateful." I don't want to mislead you all into thinking that she did not say anything about it. She did make some comment. Let me find it. I'm literally searching for Kamala garbage response, and what I realized when I searched that in is that can give me thousands of hits. If you ever search for Kamala's garbage response, obviously a lot of responses are garbage. This shows you how clueless they are. We won't lose Response to Biden's garbage comment: "We won't lose a single voter because of it." Really? Really? Okay. All right. You go with that. You go with that. I thought I had. Here's what I was looking for. Here's what I was looking for.
President Biden. Just his comment last night about garbage.
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but
So everything's fine. Everything's fine.
let me be clear. I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not.
That's definitely not the case.
And as President of the United States, I will be a president for all Americans.
Same promise that Biden made before he made his whole ultra MAGA speech and stood up there like the crazy tyrant that he was. These are obvious lies.
Whether you vote for me or not, that is my responsibility, and that's the kind of work that I've done my entire career. And
Never done. You've never. It's difficult to see what work you've done that has actually helped people in your
take
career.
it very seriously. Have you spoken about?
All right, so that was one response. There's another one here that I have not yet seen. This is unvetted, so I don't know. But I see this one that she's supposedly responding to it. So let's check this out together.
Making your closing.
Oh, that's loud.
Pitch for unity last night. President Biden was calling his supporters garbage. What did you think when you heard President Biden make those comments?
Well, first of all, I think that the president has explained what he meant. But I've said it earlier. I strongly disagree with any.
What did I say earlier? I strongly disagree with
A criticism of people based on who they vote for. And that I've made that clear throughout my career, including my speech last night before I think this all happened, which is I intend to be president for all Americans, and including those who may not vote for me in this election. I take very seriously my obligation and my oath to concern myself
swallow
first with the needs of the American people and put them before whatever might be my selfish issues.
All right. All right. So that was Kamala's response to it. But there's a lot more to this story. There's a lot more. The White House put out a transcript of what he said. And here we see in real time, desperately trying to spin it as if he said something other than what we all heard him say. And just the other day, a speaker's rally called, this is what they wrote. This is wh.gov. Called Puerto Rico a, quote, floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or a Puerto Rican where I'm from. In my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters with an apostrophe, not his supporters, just which was clearly a period when he said was his supporters. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. No, it's not that. It's his supporters, apostrophe, meaning comedian Kill Tony's. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. It's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how desperately they're trying to cover here. I don't know. I guess someone is afraid it's going to affect him. It's going to affect an election. Well, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik was not having it.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm.
That was what I wanted. She wrote this letter. Let me save this. Let me post so I can make it a little bigger for you. To the Edward Siskel, Assistant to President of the White House Counsel. Dear Mr. Siskel, in less than 1 week, the American people will determine the winner of the 2024 presidential election. They will choose between two candidates, President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. President Biden, marred by unpopular policies, scandal, and apparent cognitive deterioration, has chosen not to pursue a second term in office. President Biden, however, has continued to play a prominent role in Vice President Harris's campaign and indeed is the most powerful mouthpiece for the Biden-Harris administration's policies and views that Ms. Harris presumably seeks to continue under a hypothetical Harris-Walz administration. Americans were rightfully insulted then when President Biden, seeking to boost Ms. Harris's presidential campaign, referred to an enormous swath of the country as floating garbage. President Biden's vindictive words were unsurprising, given his previous statements regarding people who choose not to vote for his preferred candidate. Unsurprising, too, were the White House's actions after he said them. Instead of apologizing or clarifying President Biden's words, the White House instead sought to change them, despite them being recorded on video, by releasing a false transcript of his remarks. The move is not only craven, but it appears to be in violation of federal law, including the Presidential Records Act of 1978. There you go. Always good to throw some law at them. White House staff cannot rewrite the words of the President of the United States to be more politically on message. Though President Biden's relevance continues to diminish, his words continue to matter, even as they become increasingly divisive and erratic. We write to demand the White House retain and preserve all documents and internal communications regarding President Biden's statement and the release of the inaccurate transcript. We also demand the White House issue a corrected transcript with the accurate words. If you have any questions regarding this letter, please contact Jake Greenberg, etc., etc. Courtesy Elise Stefanik, chairwoman of the House Republican Conference. So there you go. She ain't too impressed. I ain't impressed with that. Washington Post also trying to throw some cover here. Did Biden call Trump supporters garbage? It comes down to an apostrophe. You know, where were they with the whole "they're rapists" thing? Where were they with that one? Was it THEIR or THEY apostrophe RE? Where were they on that one? Because I don't remember them talking about the apostrophe of "they're rapists" when they were talking about the Mexican comments that Trump made back in 2017 or so. 2016. No. Instead, they just said, oh my God, he called all of them rapists. Oh, that's what he did. That's what he did. When actually, if you saw the entire statement in context, he really did put an apostrophe in there. Because he said, they're not sending us their best. They're sending us their thieves, they're communists, they're drug users. And then he pauses like, they're rapists. It's like it wouldn't even make sense to say they are rapists. He was saying they're rapists. That's who they're sending us. No, Washington Post wasn't concerned about apostrophes back then. No. What about the whole fine people hoax? All of a sudden now they're very into parsing out words. When it comes to Trump, whole different yardstick. We're going to read and twist his words into the most possible. They're so devious and just insidious with the way they try and spin truth. Whatever truth is, they're going to spin it to the opposite every time. They twist Trump's words into being the most evil thing possible, and they twist Biden's actual evil words into being totally innocuous and inane. Tim Walz, what does he do when he's questioned on this? When he's asked about this, what's his take on this whole thing?
I want to put it into a larger context of your recent comment comparing the Sunday Trump rally to a Nazi rally. And I would also throw in there Obama's bitter clingers, guns and religion comment from a while back, the deplorable line from Hillary Clinton's campaign, and the way that Democrats are seen by some voters as disrespecting them. And I have to ask, does that undercut this closing message of unity from your campaign?
What a well put question from CBS. It's such a perfectly framed question. It's hard to imagine how that came out of a CBS reporter's mouth. But yeah, I mean, let's look at the history here as to what you guys have been calling the whole freaking country, and one after another. It's not one of you; it's all of you doing it. So this question is, let's get back to the way it gives all these different examples.
And I have
what's Walls going to say?
To ask, does that undercut this closing message of unity from your campaign?
No, certainly not.
I want to put it into a larger...
Of course not. No. How would that do that? Why would it do that? Why would that do that? We talked earlier about screeching Sonny Hostin, how nuts she went over Kill Tony's comments, pretending that Trump himself had said it, and getting very mean-faced, very mean-faced. Well, here's the View today. Again, this is just, it's always the right that's in the wrong.
But it's intellectually dishonest for his supporters to suddenly be offended by President Biden slip up, because
slip up. Now it's a slip up. When President Biden does it, it's a slip up. When you're twisting Trump's words, that's clearly what he meant. It's a dog whistle. When he says peacefully and patriotically, he doesn't even say bad words. We're going to twist that into what he's really saying is go get a noose for Mike Pence. But now, when he says, oh, yeah, his supporters are garbage, that's just a slip up. It's just a slip up. Psycho bitch.
I do believe it was a slip up. After all...
Of course you believe that, because you're just going to throw cover for the Democrats no matter how twisted and evil they are.
After all that their guy has said, he called all of America a garbage can.
No, he said you're turning... There's a difference between talking about people and saying you're turning America into a garbage can. But they put the little applause sign up there, so all the barking seals in their audience are going to go...
All of America.
For the record, we all actually agree on this. Yeah. I think that there's
we all agree on this. Oh yeah, because I'm supposed to be the pretty Republican member of the panel here. So I'm just going to agree with everything because you just pay me enough money that I'm just a complete sellout.
Cognitive dissonance. If Trump says something crazy and we dismiss it, but we all get outraged when someone else says. I just think to move beyond the era of Trump, you need leaders who aren't going to call names, who aren't going to play to his level. And that's why she did.
Oh, well, Kamala did not. It's just her Lord and Savior, the one whose policies she plans on continuing because he was so perfect. I can't think of a single thing that he did wrong. Well, what about that freaking Red Scare dark MAGA speech he gave? No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Idiots. So dishonest. They're literally insane. Literally insane. But we should anticipate that everyone from MAGA is going to keep, and we need to keep pushing on this. Keep pushing on this over and over again.
I want to address
this is Brett Favre
comment that Joe Biden made yesterday,
Trump
last night, that said the supporters of Donald Trump, us, or garbage. I can assure you we're not garbage. How dare he say that looking out? I see police officers, teachers, nurses, grandparents, students. I see everyday Americans that make this country great. I want to address
So that was Brett Favre talking about it. And the last two things I want to share with you are Trump's reaction because he doesn't really like. It's not very Trumpian for him to go around there dressed as a garbage man, and yet he did it at his rally tonight. He didn't just do it when he made his appearance earlier today. He did it when he walked out in front of tens of thousands of people at tonight's rally, and this is him addressing it as only Trump can.
They got all the
Sorry about that. Gosh, so annoying.
these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said,
He's like, I don't want to wear that vest on stage.
"Oh, okay, sir." I said, "Get me my jacket." But if you did, you know, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, oh. And they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case, I'll wear it on stage.
That's such a refreshing comment from him. It really is. He's so good at this. Well, anyway, and apparently dissatisfied with the fact that they just put out a written statement for Biden, apparently they prepped him to put out an audio statement correcting himself. I don't know how many of you saw this, but he actually fixed. He tried fixing. I think, frankly, he made it a little worse, but he actually made an appearance and spoke and actually addressed his comments about garbage rather than just having a pre-written statement written up for him. And this is him explaining what he meant.
My fellow Americans and the other half of you that is garbage, it's your boy Dank Brandon here. I wanted to take a moment to explain what I meant when I called half the country garbage. Look, garbage isn't always a bad thing. Sure, you stink and no one wants to see you, but you can become something useful when properly handled, like fertilizer. So basically, yes, you're shit, but you have the potential to be more. Anyways, vote for Cackles or don't. I don't give two shits anymore. Dank Brandon out.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So, not to be mislabeled as fake news, I should clarify that I think there's a significant possibility that the last video I shared with you may have had some AI alterations that were laced in there. That's possible. It's possible that there was a tiny little bit of AI alterations that may have affected, may have done a little something there. Possibly. Can't say for certain. This possibly is a chance. There's a chance. So I don't want you to think that that's definitely what he said, because it's not. It's certainly not definite that that's what he said. But apparently, this is what you're about to see now. Is definitely what Kamala said. Definitely what Kamala said, and not a fake video. This is really Kamala Harris, presidential hopeful Kamala Harris.
I love electric school buses. I just love them for so many reasons. Maybe because I went to school on a school bus. Hey, raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right? I love electric.
Funny. What is she laughing about? Like, no one knows what she's laughing about. No one knows.
Electric school buses.
What do you
I just love them for so many reasons. Maybe because I went to school on a school bus. Hey, raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right?
What a weirdo. So weird. So incredibly weird, that woman. I guess perhaps Perhaps it's her weirdness and her inability to actually hold someone's attention that when she gave her speech last night in DC, they literally fenced in the audience, keeping them locked inside. This is not made up. This is true. They fenced in the audience, keeping them locked inside. So if you wanted to escape her speech, you literally had to do this. She should get like a t-shirt saying, "I escaped a Kamala Harris rally." They locked everyone in. People climbing, desperately scaling. It's like prison break. They're scaling the walls, trying to get away from Kamala Harris. This is your future, America. This is the future of America that votes for Kamala Harris. You're going to be climbing over walls trying to get away from her. Unbelievable. They're all just like, how do we get out of here? What do we have to do to get out of here? Unbelievable. Yeah, it's true. She doesn't like border walls. She only likes walls to keep people out. I mean, to keep people in, not to keep people out. Now, to be fair with you all, apparently these fences were supposedly erected for the purpose of keeping out the Free Palestine folks from basically invading and destroying Kamala's rally. So I don't want to mislead any of you. The given explanation, at the very least, is that they were trying to keep out the Free Palestine people, not to unlawfully detain anyone who was unfortunate enough to attend her rally. But do you not realize how you can't have doors and someone standing by a door, let people in or out? Couldn't do that. And apparently fences, Kamala thinks fences work now. Apparently she thinks fences work, keep folks out, keeps out Free Palestine. But speaking of her crowds, yesterday I shared a video with you with someone who was talking about how they were busing in her crowds, and I showed you a lineup of buses, and he was like, "Don't believe the crowd sizes. She's literally busing these folks in, busing them in from God knows where." And we saw, and like that's why, and it made like a lot of sense when I saw that video, because I was like, yeah, that explains why there's a geriatric center. It looks like a geriatric. They got them all from the same place. Some geriatric center at one of her rallies. Well, this is another one of her rallies, which I don't know. One of her supporters was saying, "Look how exciting it is to be at one of her rallies." And I want to just ask you, what do you notice about this video? This is from her rally. I don't know. It was last night, 2 nights ago. Ask yourself what you notice about this. It seems weird. I'll tell you what I see. What I see is, yet again, we see a very unusual, very homogenous intersectionality, right? It's either all old white people, or now this is all young black folks. But the other thing that's very weird to me is how do you get like 50 people to all know the same dance steps like that to some weird, is this a known dance? Maybe you guys know. Is that a known dance what they're doing there? And that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, it's so nice that George Soros splurged this time for a dance troupe. And I had someone, when I commented that, someone said, oh, this is Igor. It seems like Igor is drinking a lot of the vodka, implying that I'm some Russian agent who's drunk. And I was just like, I don't know about you, Mary Poppins, but like flash mobs don't really break out where I'm at. Maybe, you know, rival gangs in your city are called the Jets and the Sharks. But all of a sudden, everyone knows the same dance moves? How does everyone know the same stupid dance moves? How's that possible? That's the electric slide? That's not the electric slide. Now I need to know. Now I'm curious. Now you all got me curious. I got to know. Is that the electric slide? Let's see. It's electric. At least that would explain it. What the hell is that? Hold on a freaking second here. Ah. Well, I have it there. This is the electric slide. That's not what they were doing. That's not what they were doing. That's not what they were doing. I don't know what you're all talking about. That was not the electric slide. They were not doing that. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. That is not the same dance. That's not at all the same dance. Please. This has something where they're moving, and every time they finish their set of moves, they twist to a different. The chicken dance, like the chicken dance, is sort of going in a circle. First, I'm facing like north, then I'm facing east, then south, then west. That's what this dance is. Electric slide isn't like that at all. No. I'm not obsessed. I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to get to the bottom of this. All right, I'll let it go. All right. Two more things I want to share with you before I start getting into all the different wins and different court things that were happening today around the election. This is a great breakdown from Bill Ackman talking about the comparison between Trump campaign and the Biden campaign. And I was like, this is really well laid out. And I want to just, I will watch all of it because 7 minutes is a little long for me, but this is such a great detailed breakdown here.
Who is the Vice President Harris team? Right? On Trump's side, we have Trump, we have Musk, we have RFK, we have Tulsi Gabbard, we have Vivek Ramaswamy. These are actually very, very capable people that have kind of joined the team. And once he actually wins, I think that a lot more very capable people are going to sign up. And I think if you look at the issues that they're focused on, Musk is focused on everything from regulation to government efficiency to waste and cutting costs. And he's obviously pretty good at that. He let go 80% of X, and it's a much more highly functioning, better product today. Kennedy's going to focus on, corruption, pharma, making America's healthy. These are, I think, critical issues for the country. By the way, part of the reason why our budget's out of balance is we have such an unhealthy populace.
Mm-hmm.
We spend an absolute fortune, as you know, on healthcare, and we have the worst health outcomes of any, major country in the world. If we can change that alone, we're going to save an enormous amounts of money. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in the world, and that if we can actually change the growth trajectory of the United States, instead of growing at these very low single-digit growth, 2% or 2.5%, which is kind of what we've achieved in the last number of decades, and we can take that to 3.5%, 4%, the implications for the poor, for meeting our obligations, for scientific advancement, for national defense, for a safer world, are very, very powerful. And it sounds like such a small difference, but with the passage of time, that's one of the powerful forces that you learn about when you're in my industry. I'd love to see it apply in the government. So I'm excited about a Trump-Musk administration, and I credit to Trump. I think the other point I would make here, and I do think this is a really important election, is that strong leaders are not afraid to bring on talented people.
Well, this is a great point. This is a great point. There's a certain maturation that I think we're seeing in Donald Trump, where he's comfortable delegating to people who might deserve some of their own spotlight. The Trump that we saw 8 years ago was surrounded by a bunch of unknown individuals. The only reason you knew them was because they were part of the Trump campaign. But outside of that atmosphere, they were completely unknown, or relatively unknown. I mean, he had Bannon. Okay. Who knew Sebastian Gorka 10 years ago? No one knew him 10 years ago. We all got introduced to him 8 years ago. Rice, what's his name? Rice Prebert? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank now. All the people around him were just complete unknowns. And this time he's bringing in like one known, powerful, competent, capable individual after another and ascribing them to various areas, and each of them standing on their own are individuals who have genuine capability, talent, and achievement on their resume.
And work alongside them. J.D. Vance is an extremely intelligent, articulate debater. Compare Tim Walz in terms of, I would say, mental acuity, talent, life achievement versus J.D. Vance. So I think
that's what I should have found. The garbage man can. The garbage man can. The garbage man can. That's what I should have gotten. Thank you, Uncivil. For those curious, I believe the bat is to hit the bottom can to knock out stuck trash like you're hitting a ketchup bottle. Just saying. I'm a little behind. I missed some of these chats. I like the line story. I don't mind you getting all Jewy. Maybe you should have great logic on one night, educate us more on Jewish Israel history. I was actually thinking about doing a locals tonight where I was going to explain the historic connection between Jews and socialism, which is something I only learned about. I've been reading about it over the last couple of days. And I've been fascinated to learn why, in its infancy, Jews were connected to socialism and how that got transposed even when they came here. And this is when the view of socialism. This is before socialism had ever been tried before. Like literally from when Karl Marx was first formulating it. And I was thinking about doing a locals. If you guys are interested, and I was thinking about doing a locals. I should have put a goal up here. All right, I'm gonna make a new goal. We'll say 20 super chats of $10 or higher. We'll make it for up to 2 hours. I just put a goal up there. But I'm curious if you guys would want a locals after show about the connection between Jews and socialism, from the historic connection. No, I don't want a Q&A. Let me start a poll here. Start a poll, create a poll. So I was telling Lady Lawgic, I was like, I don't know if people really want that. Maybe some would, but we'll see. All right. If Biden could dictate the complex statement for KJP to read, then why is he still not running? Yeah, he couldn't do that. I'm sorry for being a bit vulgar tonight, Joe and company. You're always forgiven. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're a member for 14 months. You're forgiven. B-Star, gifting 1 good Lawgic membership. God bless you. I like when people do that. Let's give you a little horn there. Alia News. The full Trump speech about the vest had me laughing out loud. It was great. I hate school buses because I went to school on. Funny that she put up the walls to prevent hecklers, but then Joe did the Zoom during her speech. Yeah. It just completely destroyed her. That is pretty funny. At first, when you said Joe, I was like, wait, me? I was like, oh, you mean Biden with the garbage, right? Glad people are wise to her geriatrics by now. Or geriatrics. It's not the election slide. Likely all the same HBCU or sorority. That's possible. Joe, do you know the Macarena, right? Hey, Macarena. That's not. Macarena is you put your hands like this and on your hips. That wasn't what they were doing. There are dozens of line dances. Could be cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle, or the wobble. Maybe. I'll be honest, Trump must have got this one. Q Revere says, no way this cast is accepted in 2016. Look at what happened with first RFK Jr. health attempt. No way. It had to be this way. We weren't ready. Are now. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. We weren't ready. It was not the right time for that. This is the right time for it. It's true. Charles, always say the number of your goal as your last goal had a color I was unfamiliar with. Okay. Yeah, this is a yellow goal tonight, which means it could be orange, but it's got to be $10 or higher. I was looking for 20 of those or more. Are you paying for votes? Should be. All right. Where was I at? I know what I did wrong here. I accidentally streamed this to my Trump trial. I meant to stream it to X. So I'm going to actually cut that out now. I'm going to remove the Trump trial. If you're watching there, come on over to the main channel. I'm going to remove it from